It's the Friday Morning Thumb on the Live 88.5 Morning Startup.
And Ottawa filmmaker and film critic Christopher Redmond in Startup Studios this morning. Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for being here. And it's the holiday season, and there's really not much happening this week. The Chris Rock movie, I guess, is out this weekend.
Yeah, there's a couple movies, but you know, it's basically 12 days till Christmas, right?
Right.
13 technically, but let's go with it. It's a 12 days till Christmas countdown, and so we're going to go through the top 5 Christmas films. All right, selected by me, and so I had to give myself some parameters, right? This is films. I want to do films about Christmas. Okay, so Die Hard, Rocky IV, Gremlins need not apply.
They always show up in these.
They always do. It's cheating. Okay. It's cheating. I'm not going to have any of it.
Just because there's a couple of snowflakes doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
That's right. And my other parameter I set for myself is I challenge myself to not make nostalgia picks. Okay, so ones like we talked about Home Alone. Yeah. I'm leaving off the list because I'm basically Macaulay Culkin's age, and I grew up with that film, and I have no perspective on it. I cannot tell you if that's a good film or not. Okay. So these are all films that I've basically been introduced to very recently, and the first one will probably surprise people because it is the Bill Murray movie Scrooged. Okay, which I didn't see until last year for the first time.
Really?
So this is like a reimagining of the Dickens tale, right? And it's a great movie for all those humbugs out there who don't really have any Christmas spirit in them. And it's got this nice media twist to it where he runs his media empire and he just wants to suck all the money he can out of Christmas and with these holiday specials that really have nothing to do with Christmas. And he ends up learning that there's more to Christmas than that. And really turn off your TV, people. Let's join together and have the holiday spirit.
Well, and the premise of the movie is these live specials. And I was watching Scrooge the other day, and all I could think was the Peter Pan thing.
Right, yeah.
Like a week and a half ago, that being this live TV spectacular. It's like, it's Scrooge.
Yeah,
it's the
still
exact
happened.
same
That's
premise.
right. And, and in fact, my number 4 is the kind of movie that Bill Murray's Scrooge would have loved to have programmed. And it's called Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale. Okay, now this is a Norwegian film from 2010, which is more like if the Brothers Grimm had written a Christmas, the Santa Claus myth. Right. Yeah. And so it actually reverts to the Norwegian origins of, Father Christmas, where the idea is Santa is not this, jolly guy who goes around giving you presents. He punishes the bad girls and boys. All right, so it's this really kind of evil tale.
I knew it would be dark.
Yeah, it's dark, but it's really fun. So it takes place on this reindeer ranch, and it's got this young boy, and basically all their reindeer are dead one morning. They wake up and they capture this guy who's kind of this old, grizzled, long. He looks like Santa, right? Long white beard, and he's kind of almost catatonic. He's not talking to him, and they capture him. And they think, well, this is Santa Claus. We've got Santa. We're going to sell him to the Americans, right? They feel like they found Santa. Yeah. Now the kind of twist is this isn't Santa. He's actually one of Santa's elves, and there's a whole bunch of these old grizzled guys who go out getting all the bad boys and girls. And Santa's this malevolent force that lives underground, and it's like this action horror thriller that came out, but it's fantastic. I'm excited just talking about it. People got to go see this movie, all right? It is really fun.
All right.
Okay. Now the other one, my number 3 is another new movie that came out called Arthur Christmas. All right. This is a British film. It's an animated film, and it does the opposite. It does a very modern take on the Christmas tale. So Santa is old and kind of he can't do the job anymore, so his son Steve is taken over. Steve is this massive army general, okay, and he commands this force of elves, thousands of elves, like it's an army. All right, and their ships, they call them sleds, but they're like ships like Independence Day, the size of cities. They go over top of cities. The elves rappel down into people's rooms. They have like 3 minutes to do each city around the world. It's a military operation. The elves are like ninjas putting in the all the presents, and it's really fun. You go, oh, maybe this could have actually happened. This is how they would have to do it nowadays, right? And so Arthur ends up playing the grandson of Santa, who doesn't have the chops to kind of take on the family business anymore, but he's got the spirit of Christmas in him. And it's about him learning, and the moral of the tale is Christmas really belongs to those who believe in it, right? Nice film, really good film, yeah, and that one's a good one too. My number 2 now, I'm going very sappy on you guys. Okay. All right, this is the 1946 film It's a Wonderful Life by Frank Capra.
It's boring.
Oh, come off it. Listen to me. This is Jimmy Stewart. Okay, here's the thing. When this movie came out in 1946, it was a flop. People did not go see it. It was too sappy for people in 1946,
exactly.
Right?
It's boring.
What happened was people got some distance from it 10, 20 years, and they started watching it, and they said, you know what? That's the idealized version of America and this redemption story that we want. And so people kind of reclaimed it as this classic. And now when I watch it, you know what? It's very sentimental. Yes, it's sappy, but I get a little misty-eyed every time I watch it, too. Aww. So do yourself a favor, people. Watch this movie. It's about, even broken angels can get their wings and kind of second-class angels.
Now, What's the thing about that film? Isn't it like
it's a bit of the Dickens tale.
Wizard of Oz, and it's black and white, and then it goes to color? Did they do anything
No,
like that?
it's all in black and white.
It's all black and
yeah,
white.
the idea is just that he kind of has some. It's a little dark, kind of little suicidal thoughts initially, right? And then he has to find that his friends and his family kind of help him through this problem. And like I said, this Charlie, this kind of second class angel, earns his wings, and he realizes that's all you need at Christmas.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. Number 2. My number 1. Now this again is not a nostalgia pick. I didn't see it until university, and I think a lot of people maybe haven't seen it, but most people have. It's Bob Clark's classic, A Christmas Story, right? So it's this, the Canadian co-production, actually, but the little boy who just wants a BB gun for Christmas. Now, this film was actually last year. It was inducted into the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress, right? Which, quote, rewards films that are culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. So it is right there, sandwiched alphabetically between Chinatown and Citizen Kane. Okay, Christmas Story. So, dialing down the praise a little bit. It's just this really kind of witty. It's got this wry realism to it, right? Yeah. It's all voiceover, and it's just a great movie for Christmas. It's something that again has been rediscovered a little later, I think, in its life. People didn't jump to it when it first came out, but now I have to make it a staple every year when I go to Christmas. Yeah,
See, it is awesome to see.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's the one to me that is boring. I tried to watch that one. It was like,
you are a humbug.
Story?
wow. A Christmas Story.
You're maybe mixing it with A Christmas Carol.
No. It's a Christmas
little Ralphie,
BB
come
gun.
on.
No.
You know what? I go on a little nostalgia tour in Toronto. A lot of this is filmed in Toronto, and I have a friend.
Oh, you see that?
Oh yeah, and my friend lives right across from where that old Chinese restaurant was, where they filmed everything. So I get a little tingle every time I go to his place, and so I'm gonna have to make sure to do that before
It was
Christmas
directed
again
by
this
the
year.
Porky's guy.
That's right,
it?
Bob Clark. That's right. Yeah.
Which is the weird thing about that movie.
Well, and you can kind of feel it. It's got a little bit of that strange sensibility of things are just a little off, and we need that in Christmas. They can't all be "It's a Wonderful Life." Come on, we have to have a little edge.
Good stuff. It's Christopher Redmond. From Dear Cast and Crew, he's an Ottawa filmmaker and critic. You'll find a link for him at live885.com, and then click on Startup. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, 8:17 now.